Hi guys, welcome back to Prospect Channels TV. Thank you for coming out here. If you just join us for the first time, I beg subscribe to this channel and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. We don't bring on another bunge update to concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his lawyers, the Nigerian government, everything that is happening and what is going to happen. My people, this video goes shock now. Make I drop and sharp. I'll be right back.
Calling you that name. So we need someone of high quality. And I want to also say thanks to Lolo Uchechukwu Geme Anyanwu Toto, the wife of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. I salute you, Mother. May Chukwu Kemema continue to bless you. Share this program. Share it, put it everywhere. Because Acham Kamboy Fewineri today. Thank you so much. Because God searched the heart of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and gave him a wife, a very beautiful wife, a friend, a sister, a mother, a spiritual director. Why na funi fena fena nzuzo? Why na fena more? Chukwu Kabiama gave it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And believe you me, let me not say much about you because some people may misinterpret this program. But I knew that besides any successful man, there is a great woman. It's either the woman is your mother or is the wife you are married to. Yes. There will be no smoke without fire. Anywhere you see smoke, there is fire somewhere burning. So, the coming of Agabi getting involved in this case is something that shocked so many people. And so many people that knew Agabi who have served as Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Federation. It got so many of you confused. How can somebody who has served Nigeria to that extent, to that height, will come and handle Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case? That they want to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They want to do this, they want to do that. No, you are wrong, bro. You are wrong, sis. Those of you who are nurturing this kind of belief that the inclusion of this man up here in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case and as the lead counsel will derail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case, or should I say, will put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in danger. I stand with the leadership of this movement with my 2 feet, my 2 hands, my whole body, my brain, my body, and everything. Then I also stand with whoever that is with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and working assiduously to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is out of the place where he is. So what matters is how does the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu play? That is what I am concerned about. So if you listen to anybody telling you that this man here is working for the Nigerian government, tell the person to go and sit down. That Mazi Nnamdi says otherwise. I am a man that speaks with authority. And before I come out to talk about this man, I place this man first for you to know that I know exactly what I am doing. You may not like me. You may hate me. You may despise me. I don't care about your hatred upon me. But the voice that is speaking through me is the voice of truth, the voice of freedom, the voice of wisdom, the voice of knowledge, the voice of exposition of the top that is also top notch. That is what you are hearing today. That Kanu Agabi have come to bring a change, a great change, a positive change in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case, not to derail it and not to put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in danger. First and foremost, there is a spiritual tie between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Godwin Kanu Agabi. I want to start from their spiritual ties before I begin to speak, that you may understand that I am a man that knows what I'm doing. It is not all about coming out and broadcast and talk and talk. There are people who doesn't have spiritual gifts to see beyond what this ordinary eye can see. And when they speak from their carnal knowledge. We talk from our spiritual understanding, bring it to the physical, then break it down for you to understand. This man up here is from Cross River State. Kanu Agabi is from Cross River State. In case you don't know, I want you to know it today. Not from Abia State, but from Cross River State. Are you surprised that he is not from Abia State, not from Imo State, not from Anambra, Enugu, or Ebonyi? No, but from Cross River State. Ogoja, to be precise. The man you are looking up here. Now ask yourself, how come does he bear a name, Kanu? How come does he bear a name, Kanu? Is it a coincidence that he's bearing a name, Kanu, and the same meaning of the same Kanu that we are all following, that is our leader, is the same meaning of his own Kanu? Kamanu Ozuzo means the god of lightning and thunder in Ogoja language, where he came from. Kamanu Ozuzo is god of lightning and thunder from Abia State, where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come from. Now, the case have started for a very long time with Barrister Ifeanyi Chukwu Ejiofor, Mako Ejiofor Ghana. He have done greatly in regards to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case to bring it to where it was before San Ozekome joined in the case. Then pushing it up to where it was before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decided to say Ozekome and Ejiofor to wait because of the attitude of Aloy Ejimako. Because of the attitude of Aloy Ejimako, because of the lies of Aloy Ejimako, I want people to know something about this struggle. You see, God is projecting this struggle the way it's supposed to go. So anything that happened, like the bad side of it, God always turn it to the good side in favor of we, his children. So because Aloy could not and cannot do anything about this case, Aloy is not a son. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case needed son, not sons, not even son. Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is having about 8 sons, senior advocate of Nigeria, standing on his side. Now, the name Kanu Agabi that you may not know where he emanated from, this man you see here is not from Abia State. But if you go to his village where he come from, there is a masquerade called Ekpo. The same masquerade that they are having in their community is the same masquerade that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Abia State are also having. The meaning of his name is the same meaning of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name. The same Kanu, Kamanu also. Now, it is going to send a very big signal to you that is watching this program now, that we are one people. As Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has educated us in the past, telling us the unification of all the people from the old Eastern region, being one people, especially those that speak No, Kedu, Ebeki Neje, we are one people. If you go to the community where this man come from, there are thousands of similarities of what you can find in the community of where I come from, of where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come from. I'm talking about Kanu Agabi. These are one people. And as God may have it, at the end of the day, it is a great hero like him that is finally at the end of this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case is going to end on 8th of this very month. The case that have lingered for over 10 years is going to end within short period of time. Why? Because of the presence of Kanu Agabi. Because of the inclusion of Kanu Agabi in the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. But some people got it wrong, say, oh, they want to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they want to jail him, and give him amnesty. I thought about that also in the past. But when I went back to do my research, when I went back to consult my chi, I've come out with this information that Kanu Agabi meant well and is going to do that, which so many of you do not believe that he can do because of his the pedigree that he has, because of who he has, because of what God has deposited in him. We have a lot of great men of honor. If somebody like Kanu Agabi, we agree, accept to be involved in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case, this man is trying to restore decorum in Nigeria judicial system. This man you see here now is trying to bring back decorum, like a semblance of belief and a semblance of respect to Nigeria judicial system. He is doing two jobs at the same time. Stressing the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, bringing it to the people that have tagged him a terrorist, to let them know that you are wrong, and at the same time to make sure that no injustice was meted on this same man that you see here. Before I go on to talk more about what happened in the court, I want to give you a little lowdown about the essay written by the man by my left hand, Ozekome, to the man you see on my right hand here, Kanu Agabi. And I would like you to pay attention, because there are some keynotes that you that is in this struggle need to get hold of. It's not just to listen. Somebody will wake up and tell you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in danger because the person that is leading his legal team has worked for Nigeria. Was Barrister Jofo not a Nigeria lawyer? Was Ozekome not a Nigeria lawyer? Was he not a Nigeria lawyer? All the lawyers that are fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu were all practicing here. If you are not called to bar here, practice here, you will not even appear in the court. That is why they stop Bruce Fain from appearing in the court handling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case. Aloye Jumako, through however he might have done it, might have attended one or two courses in Nigeria when he returned from America before we will be allowed to be included in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, appearing as a defendant lawyer, which we have seen how far he have gone, that he couldn't defend a shit. Today, I want to bury that your belief, that your doubt, that Agabi did not mean to for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or that there is a plan, an underground plan, that there has been an underground plan to downplay Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's rights, to send him to jail. I read so many articles of so many people. It is their opinion. Everybody is entitled to his or her own opinion. Every human being is entitled to his or her own opinion. Therefore, I am also entitled to my own opinion. But at the end of this case, which will end on 8th of this very month, very few days ahead of us, we shall know if that people's opinion and my own, which one is more truth or more clear to the understanding of the general populace. It is not a competition. But like I told you, everybody has a way of dissecting his or her own matter. Me, I have my own. But before I dissect my own deeply, that it may get to your bone marrow, there was a wish, a birthday wish, written by the man by my left hand to the man by my right hand. That was 2024. And I want to read out that you may grab something from that epistle that got me thinking about how great this man is and his inputs in the case so far. How long has he been in the case? How many times have he appeared in the court? How many times have this man up here appeared in the court? How many times? But look at the milestone. Look at the progress. Look at the light that you are seeing. I'm beginning to see the light at the middle of the tunnel, not at the end, because of the presence of Kanu Agabi. Kanu Agabi is not in the court to plead to anybody to leave Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No, he is there to argue Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case. As former Attorney General of Federation, do you know the meaning of Attorney General of Federation? Do you know what it means? Do you know the qualities that you deserve to have in law before you can be made an Attorney General? Attorney General of a federation of over 200 million people. Minister of Justice. All the whole judges in the whole country were under him. 2 times. And the former senator. Now pay attention, because I will shock so many of you today, that you may know that it's not everything that someone needs to come out and say in the open for the hearing of those who listen to them. You can't come out and be saying that this man, they are planning to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We all know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case is they're turning it upside down the way they used to do in Nigeria, and Agabi want to follow them suit with that their system and beating them in their own system at the same time. Even when I saw how this case was going, somehow I became more happier. Yes, that is me. I became more happier. I became more happier to understand that if not for one thing, which the court have said nobody should try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again, and the appeal court, Supreme appeal court said no court can try him, and the Supreme Court, accepted the stay of execution, which came from Nigeria lawyers that are planning to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If not for that, the fact that Agabi is involved and the pointing out all the things, all the edifice, all the ingredients that they have used to cook this food, which they are putting before the world, calling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist, calling IPOB a terrorist. We are seeing how Agabi is untying that rope one after the other. Agabi is losing that rope one after the other before the world. Do you know that CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, all these news I'm talking about, they have mapped they have set their satellite on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case, watching closely. American government is watching. European governments are watching. Asian governments are watching. And the man that is in the front line happened to be a former Chief Justice of Federation. Attorney General. Not even Justice. Attorney General. So now, looking at this case, the way it is unfolding is like an eye-opener to the world, because we were surprised how they call Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist. They first gave him so many cases and they strike them out, and later they gave him treasonable felony. From treasonable felony, they amended it to terrorism. And that is the reason why they tag IPOB a terrorist group by your whole so-called governors. But having this man up here, whom says, since Nigeria government want to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, okay, let us go there. If Agabi have not failed in all his endeavors, in all his past cases, is it this one that I can defend? Me, myself, I can defend and win this case. Me, myself. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime known to man. And he have his right to agitate for Biafra. Is it this one that he will not win? Anything that is twisted in this case, anything that is twisted in this case, the whole world will see it. So now pay attention. The reason why I love this man by my left hand, he is a great man. I love him so much. But I came to realize that he is walking in pari passu with this man by my right hand, as senior advocate to him. There is no how Ozekome will be leading Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team and the Agabi will join and be under Ozekome. It's not possible. Two things is involved. You guys do not understand how these things work. I don't blame you anyways. It's either Ozekome step down for Agabi to come in, or if Agabi come in, he become the lead because he is the senior to Ozekome. Ozekome look up to him and loved him so much as a senior legal luminary. But so many of you do not know this. We were once angry that Ozekome was asked to stop the case. Now someone who is ×2 of Ozekome have taken the case. And some people are trying to tell you, hey, they want to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They want to jail him. Nobody is going to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You see justice. You see justice. That woman that you see carrying the symbol of justice with the left hand, then carrying the sword with the right hand, and the face was covered, is the pure definition of what justice is. How? For the fact that the eye is closed, it does not know if you are my brother or my sister, if you are my friend or my enemy. What the truth about the case is what is going to say, because he doesn't see who you are to him or to her. That is justice. The sword is to use to cut that lies and deceit, to destroy anything that is not making that case to be straight. Then the scale is to check the weight of that case. Now, if this man have been at the helm of affairs, and it come to the stage where Nigeria government insisted that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be tried. Don't forget what Buhari said. Buhari said that Kanu must face the law. That whatever the judges says goes. Now, the judges have said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime, that he should be freed, and Nigeria government refused. Another judge says so, they refuse. Another judge says so, they refuse. Even the three judges at the Court of Appeal also decided that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be free, and yet they said no, they are still holding him. Now, the die is cast. What I expect of each and every one of you out there is to pray to Chukwu Okike Abiama for justice to prevail when a former Chief Justice of Federation, a former Attorney General of Federation, a former Minister of Justice is handling the case. That is what I expected us. Not to be telling people that it is a plan to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No. I know that some of you may not like this program, but I don't care. I have come out to speak the truth, the way it is. Now, Ozekome wrote this article, and I want to read line by line. It is a very long one, lengthy one, but I'm going to, do it the way I'm supposed to, so that you can understand why I have confidence. Like I have serious confidence that there's no judgment that will be passed on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that will change him when he is free. No judgment. One of the judgments I get passed on this case, he will not be able to speak again. It's not done. Even when Peter Yanko wanted to do that, by telling him, don't stay with 10 people, don't grant interview, don't do this, don't do that. No, justice does not go that way. So, we are here to dissect the man by my right hand. Greatness is not measured by what a man or woman accomplished by the opposition he or she has overcome to reach his goals. It is a quote from a woman, a human rights activist, a Black American human rights activist called Hyde Dorothy. Pay attention. Ozekome is writing this episode. I have to do my research and dig up something that connects these two men. On the process, I'm able to get this to give to you. Because for Ozekome to step down and the alloy was now Machagari, no alloy. See, the law in the case Mazi Nnamdi can the case Biafra until I see a bigger picture. I said, okay, yes, something is happening on the ground. But so many of you may not understand it. But I have come to narrate it to you. If you like, you believe. If you don't like, leave it. But on 8th of this month, we shall see. Ozekome is writing here now. In my little way, and from my very small window and little corner, I enjoy celebrating people, dead or alive. Great or not so great. These are historic personalities who symbolize the word of Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path that leaves a trail. That is a quote from Ralph Waldo. Ozekome is still writing. There are names that echo through time. Names that, when spoken, brings to mind the essence of who that person is and what he stands for. Chief Kanu Agabi, San, C-O-N, is one such name. And if you did not know, Agabi itself carries a delightful metaphor in his native Bekwara tongue. It simply means something sweet, awesome, and utterly adorable. In the Holy Bible, this is him quoting. Agabi means love and affection. He has yet another name, which can frighten any gate. Pay attention. Agabi has another name that can frighten any gate. Crusher. That is his first name. Kanu, Kamano, or Kamalo. Is of Igbo origin. Pay attention. Shortened to Kanu. It simply refers to the traditional Igbo god of thunder and the lightning. Ozekome is writing. It is equivalent to the more familiar name of the same deity called Amadioha or Amadiora. In Sierra Leone, Kanu simply refers to High God. And we have Nnamdi Kanu, and we have Godwin Agabi Kanu. So many of you do not know that some Igbo people whose great-great-grandfathers were bought and sent to America, when they were returning them back, they sent so many of them to Sierra Leone. Some of you do not know. So there are Igbo people in Sierra Leone, about the Maroc Malia today. The supreme being, referred as High God, the supreme being and the originator of all things, who is said to live in the distant skies. But our own Kanu is not a supreme being. Thank God he lives among us here on earth, not in the distant skies. We are happy with this. Yes, the name fits him like a glove, because here is a man whose legacy is as sweet and affectionate as it is monumental. But that is not all. In case you were to take his love, affection, and the sweetness for granted, you are stopped dead on your track by his middle name, Godwin. And he has won many battles and wars alike, because his God always wins. His sweetness and affection easily translates into generosity. This is the man by the left, writing about the man at the right. I remember one of my visits to Chief Agabi many years ago, as if it were just yesterday. It was at his office in Mabuchi, Abuja, a place that buzzed with the energy of legal brilliance. He had the kind of aura that simultaneously made you feel both at ease and in awe. Such apparent contradiction. Imagine my surprise when, during our conversation, he fished out and casually handed me an iPad. Now, you have to understand that this was a time when the iPad was still a very vague concept to many. A sleek piece of technology that felt when more like a futuristic dream than reality. It was my first time of beholding and touching an iPad, yet here was Chief Agabi gifting me one as if it were as ordinary pen or handkerchief. It was my first iPad ever, and I carried it around for years like the treasure it was. Not just because it is uniqueness then, but because of who gave it to me. Thank you, sir. This is the man by the left writing about the man at the right, who is handling Mazi and Kanu case today. The only true wisdom is in knowing you. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Okay? The only true wisdom is in knowing that you knows nothing. That is the true wisdom. And this goes to those people who are saying that as they force us, that Mazi Kanu must appear to court. That is a trap to jail him. So Socrates made this quote saying that the only true wisdom is you knowing that you know nothing. Because I believe in the came. That moment was quintessentially Agabi generous, forward-thinking, and always ahead of the curve. His generosity is not just about material gift. It is in his wisdom, his deep piece of advice, and his uncanny ability to make you see the world a little differently from yours after every conversation with him. This is what I cherish most. And if you have ever had the pleasure of being in his company, you would discover that he is as witty as they came. He once told me, with a twinkle in his eyes, that the only reason he became a lawyer was because his mother did not trust doctor. Of course, that may not have been completely correct, but it was vintage Agabi San. A man who could blend humor with wisdom in a way that leaves you both laughing and thinking deeply. But let us take a step back to where it all began. Born on the 9th of July, 1946, in a small village of Adim in Odupani, local government area of Cross River State, Nigeria. Chief Agabi's beginning were as humble as mine. Perhaps mine was even more humbling. Yet, from this modest root, a giant of the legal world would emerge. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. It is another quote from Arthur Ashe. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. It is a message, a quote from Arthur Ashe. Chief Agabi early education took him to St. John's Primary School. I am not giving you the biography of the man that is handling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case. In Boko, and the later St. Benedict Primary School, Ogoja. These were simple school in southern Nigeria, but they were the fertile ground where his intellect first took root. From there, he moved on to Mericol Secondary School, Okuku, Osun State, and the Methodist College, Ozuakole, Abia State. It was during these formative years that the young Kanu began to show signs of the greatness that would later come to define his life. He was not just a good student, he was a youthful leader, the kind of person who could inspire others with sharp vision and raw determination. Imagine that even then, the young Agabi must have had the same twinkle in his eyes that I saw when he handed me that iPad. It is the look of a man who knows he is destined for something extraordinary, even if the world hasn't caught up to the fact yet. In 1969, Chief Agabi took the next step on his journey of life by enrolling on the University of Lagos to study law, a decision that would set him on a course that would help shape the legal landscape of Nigeria. During his time at the university, he not only excelled academically, but also became a prominent figure in student union politics. As the president of the Ogoja Provincial Student Union, he demonstrated the leadership quality that would later make him a respected figure in both the legal and the political area of Nigeria. I am giving you raw the biography of the man handling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case. The law is reason free from passion. Aristotle made that quote. After successfully completing his training at the Nigeria Law School in Lagos, Chief Agabi was called to the Nigeria Bar in 1972. That is 2 years after the war. Agabi karahu. Agabi karahu. And you are looking so young and so healthy. This man was called to bar in 1972, 2 years after Biafran War. That is to say that he can equally tell you the story of Biafran War. I was then, this is Ozekome writing, I was then a Form 3 secondary school student. Una for the gap, una for the difference between these two guys. Ozekome was at the Form 3 student then. Why Agabi has finished his secondary, his university, and his law school and was called to bar. This is the quality of a man. The biography of a man that some people are telling us that they are trying to use him to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Wait, I'm coming. Oh. I'm coming, and Mabia. I was then a Form 3 secondary school student, becoming a solicitor and advocate of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. His early career was marked by an unwavering commitment to justice and a keen understanding of the law, of the lawyer's role in society. It was not long before his talent blossomed and he began to ascend the ranks of the legal profession. As his reputation grew, so too did the responsibility placed upon his slim shoulder. Chief Agabi serves as chairman of the board of directors of Nikon, Nigeria Insurance Company Limited, and the National Properties Limited. His leadership in this role was marked by a real blend of wisdom and the pragmatism, traits that would later serve him well in the year to come. In 1997, in recognition of his immense contribution to the legal profession, Kanu Agabi was conferred with the prestigious rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN. That was 1997. This was not just a title, but a testament to his excellence in the legal field. A recognition that he had not only achieved excellence but by mastering the law, but had also become one of its foremost champions. Twice a giant. In the middle of difficulties lies opportunities. That is a quote from About Elsin. Now, here is a tale that is as sweet as it is remarkable. Agabi was appointed Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice not once, but twice. If that does not speak to his brilliance and resilience, I do not know what does. The first time was in 1999 under President Olusegun Obasanjo. This was a period when Nigeria was transitioning from military to civilian rule. A time fraught with challenges and uncertainties. It was the kind of moment that could make or break a nation legal framework. And who did they turn to? Now, none other than Chief Agabi. Who did they turn to? None other than Agabi. When Nigeria was turning from military government to civilian, and they were looking for somebody who was supposed to be the Minister of Justice, Attorney General, and it was Agabi they found, as at that time, the whole country. His first tenure as Attorney General was nothing short of transformative. One of his most notable achievements was his push for legal reform. He understood, perhaps better than anyone else at that time, that the law must evolve with the time if it was to serve the people effectively. He advocated for changes that would strengthen the judiciary and ensure that the rule of law was upheld across the nation. This is the man handling Mazi and Kanu case. The best way to predict the future is to create it. This is another quote from Peter Drucker. The best way to predict the future is to create it. You have to create it. One of the most courageous actions he took during his time was his call for a modification in the strict application of Sharia law in Nigeria in March 2002. He famously wrote to the governor of the northern states, arguing them to ensure that Sharia law was applied in a way that did not discriminate against Muslims for being Muslims or violate the principles of equity before the law. He had made this statement against the backdrop of some judgment delivered under Sharia law that were brazenly discriminatory against Muslims. If we na-akọwa but that na this man, the guy, the whole governors none at the north akwụkwọ oge ha na-achọ si na ha chọrọ Sharia law. This man intervened. That now Sharia law should not be too harsh to be against the people who may make this law. This is a man fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case as the lead counsel. So don't play. In one of the judgments, a lady, Amina Lawal, was sentenced to death by stoning for giving birth outside wedlock. When you want to hide something for a black man, put it in writing because they will never read. Was sentenced to death by stoning for giving birth outside wedlock. That is in their own Sharia law. Then Kanu Agabi came in. This was no small feat, and it took a man of immense courage and conviction to take such a critical stand. He famously wrote thus: a Muslim should not be subjected to a punishment more severe than would be imposed on other Nigerians for the same offense and equality before law. That means Muslims should not be discriminated against. Do you understand that? That somebody under his watch as the Attorney General in the Sharia law, a woman called Amina was sentenced to be stoned to death because she gave birth outside wedlock. Then Agabi came in with his powers, with his wisdom. And you know, these people in the north, they don't joke with their Muslim, Sharia, whatever. But Agabi came in when someone like him was highly needed. And he said that you people should not make such law that will be more harsh to a Muslim in Nigeria, whereby other Nigerians commit such sins or such thing without getting the same punishment that you are giving to those people in the north. That was the simple interpretation of what Agabi came in to do to save the life of this woman. I thank you, Ozekome, for outlining all this to make people who are already trying to converse and say he's coming, they invite him, he's an agent, he want to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he want to sentence him, he want to jail him. I am there. I'm not going nowhere. I'm here. Then he became Minister of Solid Mineral while holding that second sensitive mineral ministerial portfolio. It appeared as if the universe had not had enough of his sheer brilliance. The man is too all the too brainy. Agabi was again reappointed Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice in 2002, following the tragic assassination of Chief Bola Ige. Before na call because jail may research going to chop what somebody have represented and what somebody is standing for. Don't come out of emotion, you begin to tell people what is not. Because I know I'm here. This second appointment was a testament to the trust and confidence that the nation had in his abilities. And once again, he valiantly rose to the occasion, navigating the complex legal and political challenges of time with the same grace and effectiveness that had marked his first tenure. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. It is another quote from Winston Churchill. His time as Attorney General was marked by several high-profile cases and legal battles, many of which tested the very fabric of Nigeria legal system. But in true Agabi fashion, he's faced these challenges head on, armed with nothing but his sharp mind, his intellect, deeply sense of justice. Okay, deeply sense of justice, and of course, that signature wit. In March 2002, Kanu wrote in a letter to Nigeria state governors that the application of strict Islamic or Sharia law was unconstitutional, since some judgment passed under Sharia discriminates against Muslims. That month, Amina Lawal, a young Nigerian woman accused of giving birth to a child out of wedlock, was seen sentenced to death by stoning, a punishment that was confirmed in August 2002 by a Sharia court of appeal in Funtua, Katsina State. Kanu came under immense pressure from Amnesty International to abolish the death penalty in Nigeria, irrespective whether it is Sharia law or whether it is normal law. Agabi stood against the killing of anybody in Sharia law. Agabi stood against sentencing somebody to death when he was the minister and attorney of the federation, when he was minister of justice and attorney of federation. This man you are looking at here. And this is a woman. This is a woman, Onya Hausa. And this is a Sharia law for the North. And this man came in to say you can't do that. And because of that, because of him, Amnesty International intervened in the case to say it does not matter whether you call it Sharia or anything. You must not sentence anybody to death for such offense. Aye. Oh God. In May 2003, the Attorney General urged a federal high court in Abuja to order the arrest of the National Assembly leader and to imprison them for contempt of the court. He appealed to the court to set aside the anti-graft bill which the National Assembly had passed into law despite a presidential veto. I am reading from what Ozekome have stated, because all this information, I don't have them raw, but I am giving it to you right now because Ozekome is a very knowledgeable man who has what it takes. And he is giving you the profile of the man that is defending Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So this man ordered for the House of Representative members who passed a law that is against human rights, despite the fact that you may call it Sharia law or whatever law. No. Despite the veto power from the president, too, he has the law in his hand. Nigeria had not enough of him, as Obasanjo again appointed him special advisor on ethics and good governance at the 2005 National Political Reform Conference, where I first met Agabi. I headed the draft subcommittee that knocked together matter agreed upon by the Civil Society Committee. Agabi's paper on the ethics and the morality was a magnum opus. Magnus opus. Lawyer a Velius Secundus. It was a reservoir of knowledge about ethical resurgento and the resonance. Resurgento and the resonance. He made his point without being fuzzy, dictatorial, or overbearing. A legacy woven in sweetness. The legacy of heroes in the memory of a great name and the inheritance of a great example. This is another quote from Benjamin Disraeli. If you ever wonder why it is like to leave a legacy that stands the test of time, just take a look at Kanu Agabi trajectory. His contribution to Nigeria legal and the political landscape are like threads woven into the fabrics of the nation history. But what makes his legacy truly sweet, put intended, okay, pun intended, is the way he has touched the lives of so many, often in a way that goes beyond the courtroom. Take, for example, his mentorship of young lawyers. Agabi did not just blaze a trail. He made sure that others could follow in his footsteps. He has mentored countless legal professionals, many of whom have gone on to become giants in their own right. And he did it not with an air of superiority, but with the humility and the generosity that have always defined him. Humility, he wear it as a second skin. You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give. Winston Churchill again quoted this. And let us not forget his philanthropy. Remember the Trinity Tower in Abuja, that massive complex he built to house law firms, and many of which operate rent-free. In it, just one example of how Kanu Agabi give back to the society. He does it gladly, but here is the kicker. He did not just stop at providing office space. He makes sure that lunch is served freely to everyone in that complex from Monday to Friday. The food he cooked in Asokoro home and taken to office at Mubashi, Abuja. Now, it is not sweet. I do not know. If it is not sweet, I do not know what it is. Chief Agabi generosity extends to education as well. He has founded scholarship, built schools, and supported various educational initiatives, popularly in his home, Ogoja region of Cross River State. His goal has always been to ensure that the next generation has the opportunity that he had, or better opportunity that he could only imagine or dream of as a young boy in Adim village, but could not have. I'm here, I'm talking about Kanu Agabi here. The function of education is to teach one of things. One is to think, is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. That is a quote from Martin Luther King. But perhaps what I admire most about Chief Agabi is his unwavering belief in the importance of integrity in leadership. He once said, and I quote, "There is nothing wrong with our constitution, even if it is a broken down vehicle. It is the vehicle that we have. However good the constitution is, it is not a self-enforced document. It required good people to enforce it. True word has never been spoken." This belief in the power of the constitution and the need for ethical leadership has been a guiding principle throughout his career. It is what has made him not just a great lawyer, but a great man. And it is why his legacy will continue to inspire long after he is all gone. Why I share Agabi's beautiful exposement of the imperative of integrity in leadership, I humbly disagree with him, and we have done this countless times, and he stands that there is nothing wrong with the 1999 constitution. Sir, everything is wrong with it. The fact of it being de facto does not make it de jure. It is an illegitimate document. This is Ozekome saying his own mind here. A mere schedule attached to decree number 24 of 1999. It does not derive any legitimacy from the Nigeria people throughout a popular plebiscite or referendum. Okay, plebiscite or referendum, such as make it homegrown and autochthonous. His allegory of the broken down vehicle is very apt here. When the knocked engine of a vehicle defies all repair, and the solution, you discard it for a brand new serviceable vehicle rather than continually pour water in a basket. Such is with our legitimacy. Okay, our legitimate, not illegal constitution. No referendum was carried out on the constitution as the Midwest region did on 10th of August 1963. To exit Western region, series of referendums have been carried out by many countries across the world to give their constitution legacy. Iran, Iraq, South Africa, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, Denmark, Switzerland, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Eritrea, Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, Austria, Chile, Colombia, Ethiopia, Germany, Greece, India, Italy, Iceland, Morocco, Namibia, Russia, Romania, Spain, Sudan, Sweden, and Zimbabwe. The list is countless. That is the only way to go. Merely trimming the branches of a tree. Okay, merely trimming the branches